Imagine a place where the past and present are woven together, where every street and every face tells a story of resilience and hope. Here, history is not just remembered, it is lived every day. This is Somaliland, a land shaped by struggle, unity, and the dreams of its people. In 1991, after years of conflict and uncertainty, elders and leaders gathered in Barrow. They were determined to reclaim the independence they had briefly tasted in 1960, to restore dignity and hope to their people. Their decision was not about aggression, but about survival, separating from the chaos and violence that gripped Somalia to the south. It was a bold step, taken in the face of immense risk. The declaration was more than words on paper. It was a promise to build peace, stability, and a future for their children, free from fear and uncertainty. Clan elders, respected and trusted, led this grassroots movement. They relied on tradition, wisdom, and the strength of their communities. No foreign dignitaries attended, no powerful nations offered support. The world watched in silence, uncertain and unmoved. Somaliland was born into a world that refused to recognize it, but its people pressed on, united by a shared vision and unwavering determination. They created their own government, their own currency, and established the institutions needed to govern themselves. They designed a flag, building a nation from scratch, brick by brick, hope by hope. The silence of the international community only strengthened their resolve. Isolation became a source of unity and pride. More than 30 years later, that dusty declaration remains Somaliland's foundation, a living document that continues to inspire. It's a testament to self-determination, the power of community, and the enduring human spirit. While the world debates and hesitates, Somalilanders live their nationhood every day, raising families, educating children, and building their society. They've built a functioning democracy, maintained peace in a turbulent region, and fostered a proud national identity that endures through generations. Their story reminds us, a nation is defined by the will, effort, and unity of its people, not by outside recognition or approval. Somaliland's journey began with a promise to itself, and that promise, against all odds, still endures today. To truly understand Somaliland today, we must look back at the colonial lines that divided the Somali people, carving up their homeland with little regard for culture or kinship. British Somaliland in the north, Italian Somaliland in the south. Two territories, two paths, each shaped by different colonial rulers and policies that would leave a lasting mark on their futures. In 1960, British Somaliland gained independence, recognized by over 30 countries. For a brief moment, hope soared as Somalilanders celebrated their newfound freedom and the promise of self-rule. Just 5 days later, it merged with the South, driven by dreams of Somali unity and the belief that together, the Somali people could build a stronger nation. But unity soured quickly. Power centralized in Mogadishu, and the North felt increasingly marginalized, their voices drowned out by distant rulers. The rise of Siad Barre's dictatorship brought brutal oppression, especially against the Azak clan, who faced targeted violence and systematic discrimination. The late 1980s saw the Hargeisa Holocaust, cities bombed, tens of thousands killed, and hundreds of thousands forced to flee their homes, leaving entire communities shattered. This trauma forged Somaliland's resolve. The Union, once a symbol of hope, had brought only destruction and heartbreak to the North. When Barre's regime collapsed in 1991, the North chose not to conquer, but to escape the cycle of violence, seeking peace and a new beginning on their own terms. Their declaration of independence was a direct response to a failed union and unimaginable brutality, a bold step toward reclaiming dignity and self-determination. The scars of war shaped a new identity, one determined never to repeat the past, and to build a future rooted in resilience and unity. Somaliland's nationhood is rooted in survival, in the lessons of history, and in the unbreakable spirit of its people, who continue to strive for peace and recognition. After independence, Somaliland was left in ruins. The scars of war were everywhere, destroyed cities, shattered families, and a population traumatized by years of conflict. Weapons were plentiful, but hope was in short supply. The people faced the daunting task of rebuilding not just their homes, but their entire society from the ground up. The first and most urgent priority was peace, but this peace was not imposed by foreign powers or international organizations. Instead, it was achieved through grassroots efforts, local dialogue, negotiation, and reconciliation led by the people themselves. Clan elders journeyed across the land, risking their lives to negotiate ceasefires, mediate disputes, and reintegrate former fighters back into their communities. Their wisdom and persistence were crucial in calming tensions. Ancient customs of forgiveness and compensation, passed down through generations, guided the process. These traditions helped heal wounds and restore trust between rival groups. The 1993 Barama Conference was a turning point. For the first time, all clans came together to draft a national charter, laying the groundwork for a new political system. This homegrown approach, rooted in local values and traditions, laid the foundation for lasting stability and mutual respect. With almost no foreign aid, Somalilanders and their diaspora took matters into their own hands. They rebuilt schools, hospitals, and businesses, showing remarkable resilience and resourcefulness. Communities pooled their limited resources to pave roads, repair water wells, and restore basic services, often relying on volunteer labor and local fundraising. The government, operating on a shoestring budget, focused on providing security and supporting commerce, helping daily life return to normal. Self-reliance became a powerful source of pride and identity, uniting people in a shared sense of purpose. New institutions were built from scratch: police, a central bank, and a civil service, each one a symbol of Somaliland's determination to govern itself. It was a process of trial and error, with setbacks and challenges, but the determination of Somaliland's people always prevailed. While Somalia descended into chaos and violence, Somaliland quietly and patiently built a functioning state, holding elections and maintaining order. The peace earned through patience, dialogue, and tradition became the bedrock for everything that followed: progress, unity, and hope. Somaliland proved to the world that stability is possible, even in the Horn of Africa, when people come together to build their own future. Somaliland stands out for its democracy in a region known for instability. Its unique system blends clan-based representation with modern institutions. The Gurdi, or upper house, is made up of respected clan elders who mediate disputes. The lower house is directly elected, reflecting the people's will. In 2001, a constitutional referendum paved the way for multi-party elections. Since then, Somaliland has held peaceful, transparent elections, praised by international observers. Power has changed hands between parties, even after razor-thin margins. The losing side has accepted results, showing respect for the rule of law. Challenges remain: election delays, heated debates, and political rivalries. But Somaliland's consensus is to resolve issues through dialogue, not violence. Its democracy is a work in progress, but it offers hope for the region. The commitment to peaceful process sets Somaliland apart. Here, democracy is not just an ideal, it's a lived reality. Somaliland's economy is a story of resilience and adaptation. With no access to international loans, it relies on its own resources and ingenuity. Livestock, camels, sheep, goats, are the backbone, exported by the millions to the Arabian Peninsula. The port of Berbera, now expanded with DP World's investment, is a vital trade hub. A new trade corridor to Ethiopia promises jobs and growth. Remittances from the diaspora surpass foreign aid, funding businesses and community projects. This global support network drives recovery and development. Yet, challenges persist: drought, climate change, and youth unemployment. Somaliland is working to diversify, exploring oil, fisheries, and more investment. Its economic journey is ongoing, powered by tradition, infrastructure, and diaspora support. Somaliland's culture is rooted in community, oral tradition, and the clan system. Clans provide social safety nets and a framework for governance and conflict resolution. Elders have turned this structure into a force for peace and consensus. Poetry is the soul of Somali culture, used for commentary, history, and social expression. Hospitality, as central guests are welcomed with tea and generosity, reflecting nomadic roots. Family is the core unit, with elders respected and extended families supporting each other. Community events reinforce social bonds and collective spirit. This unity has helped Somaliland overcome adversity and rebuild. The Somali Way of Life is the foundation of the nation's resilience. For over 30 years, Somaliland has existed without international recognition. It has all the hallmarks of a state: territory, government, currency, army, but remains unrecognized. The African Union's policy on colonial borders blocks its path, fearing a domino effect. Somaliland argues it's restoring, not creating borders. Despite isolation, it maintains informal ties with neighbors and global partners. The quest for recognition is constant, but Somaliland continues to build in hope. Its people believe their achievements have earned them a place among nations. Somaliland faces serious challenges: climate change, water scarcity, and a booming youth population. Droughts threaten livestock and food security, making water management vital. Most Somalilanders are under 30, full of potential, but needing jobs and education. Unemployment risks frustration and instability. The recent Ethiopia deal could bring recognition and economic benefits, but also regional tension. Disputes with Puntland over Sul and Sanag remain unresolved and fragile. Diplomacy and peaceful solutions are essential for stability. Somaliland has defied the odds before, and must do so again. As of January 2026, Somaliland's future is unwritten. It's a counter-narrative to conflict, proof that peace and democracy are possible, even unrecognized. The Ethiopia agreement could break the diplomatic stalemate, but risks remain. Internally, Somaliland must strengthen democracy, create jobs, and manage resources. The energy of its youth is its greatest asset, if harnessed wisely. Whether recognized or not, Somaliland stands as a beacon of hope and self-determination. Its true worth is measured by the peace and opportunity it provides its people. Gap 2s. As the sun rises over the plains of Somaliland, the road ahead is filled with both uncertainty and promise. For every challenge, be it international recognition, economic hurdles, or climate pressures, there are dreams and ambitions taking root in every generation. Children walk to school with aspirations bigger than their borders. Entrepreneurs build businesses that connect Hargeisa to the world. Farmers and herders innovate to sustain their way of life, even as the climate shifts. Somaliland's story is still being written by its leaders, its youth, and its resilient communities. The world may watch from afar, but for Somalilanders, every day is a step toward a future they are determined to shape. Their journey asks a simple question: what does it truly mean to belong, to hope, and to build a nation, regardless of who is watching? Sapam Gap 2s. As we close this chapter, we turn the spotlight to you, the viewer. Somaliland's story is not just about its past or present, but about the conversations it sparks around the world. What role can the global community play in supporting dreams that stretch beyond borders? How can ordinary people, near and far, amplify the voices of those building a nation from the ground up? Every share, every question, every moment of curiosity helps shape the narrative of a place striving to be seen and understood. Somaliland's future is unwritten, and in many ways its next chapter depends on the world's willingness to listen and to engage. So, what will you take away from this journey? Will you be a silent observer, or will you add your voice to the chorus of hope echoing from the Horn of Africa? The story continues, and perhaps it needs you now more than ever. Curious to dive deeper into Somaliland's journey? In the video description below you'll find a curated list of articles, documentaries, and interviews that shed more light on the region's history, culture, and aspirations. Whether you're a student, a researcher, or simply fascinated by untold stories, these resources offer a gateway to understanding the complexities and hopes of Somaliland. Take the next step, explore, learn, and share. Because every informed mind brings us closer to a world that recognizes and celebrates every nation's unique story. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Somaliland's past, present, and future. This video would not have been possible without the dedication of researchers, storytellers, and the vibrant people of Somaliland who continue to inspire hope and resilience. We also wish to acknowledge the photographers, filmmakers, and community voices whose work brings these stories to life. If you found this video insightful, consider subscribing, liking, and sharing it with others. Your engagement helps us continue to uncover and amplify untold stories from around the world. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring. Curious about how this documentary came together? In this special behind-the-scenes segment, we invite you to peek into our creative process, from late-night script rewrites to collaborating with local experts and sifting through hours of archival footage. Every frame is a product of passion and perseverance. Our team worked remotely across continents, connecting with Somalilanders who generously shared their perspectives and memories. We faced challenges, like piecing together stories from limited resources and ensuring every detail was accurate and respectful, but it was these very challenges that made the journey so rewarding. Each interview, each image, and each fact checked was a step towards capturing the true spirit of Somaliland. We hope this glimpse into our work reminds you that every story is a collective effort and that your curiosity fuels our mission. Thank you for being part of this journey with us.